iMentor is a not-for-profit organization based in New York City. We're a youth mentoring program that uses in-person events and email communication and curriculum to match and build really caring one-on-one mentoring relationships for high school students from low-income communities. And we use these relationships to help the students graduate from high school and hopefully enter and succeed in college. So that's what we do. We also saw an opportunity there to help iMentor with our building up our fundraising capacity, and sort of what we thought at the time was reducing our dependence on traditional philanthropy. You know, having to write a grant application for every $5,000 that will support one parent. You know, so what we're able to do was this program was designed as a social enterprise where the organizations that were using our systems and getting our support would pay a membership fee. So it would be some combination of setup fee and per user, sort of like a license fee that they would pay that would over time, and we had calculated that it would take us 5 years and a large amount of growth capital from interested funders, sort of visionary funders, to bring the program to scale enough where we would break even in 5 years and start to contribute financially to the organization beyond just paying for itself in terms of technology and servers and stuff. And 2 years into it, we're realizing that the program is in some ways going well. We're happy that we're doing it, we're impacting lives, but we're not meeting neither the number of users that we're trying to serve, and also that's tied to also the revenue goals, right? And then also we were not happy with some of the quality of the organizations that we're working with. And thinking back, that makes sense. Like, you can't just give technology or curriculum or even do weekly phone calls with organizations and expect that, voila, you have a quality mentoring program. Because in New York City, it took us several years to get there. So we're realizing that you really need to screen for the organizations that this was the right fit. And because our specialty is in youth development, we're finding that the organizations with that mission would work best for this. So we learned a lot of lessons, and we also had we also had tough time sort of finding the right type of talent to staff this program. Someone who has the right blend of running almost a technology business and having our right mission instinct and all the nonprofit management expertise. So we were at a point where we only wanted to do this because we wanted to expand quality mentoring program everywhere, and we weren't totally happy with the quality. Mm-hmm. And then we're also at a point where if we're focusing strictly on the program quality and vetting out potential paying members, then we would not be closer to breaking even at the 5-year mark. Mm-hmm.
So you're at this decision point between, sort of keeping the pool small and high mm-hmm. quality, mm-hmm. or meeting your revenue goals, right?
And we have funders to answer to as well, because these people bought into the plan that whose goal was to expand quality mentoring programs and also to this break-even point of 5 years.
And what role was the board playing in this process? Before we'll open it up and sort of have people bat around potential directions mm-hmm. to go. But
I mean, we had a lot of discussions at the board level. We have quarterly board meetings, and this became, a topic for in-depth discussion and talking about okay, so we have 2 goals, and can we choose one, or can we choose both?
So why don't we open it up? I mean, say you're iMentor, and you've been working closely with the board to develop this plan. You're 2 years in, and it looks like you have to open up and accept some organizations that might not be as high quality, meeting all of your mentorship criteria?
I sit on the board of a nonprofit as well, and our mission is serving the ethics and compliance community of professionals. And our mission isn't to make money, but we have to make enough money to have resources internally to be able to serve the community and give them the programs that they need. And one of the things that we've done, I think, very successfully over the last few years is we've done a strategic rethink exercise with the board where the entire board spends a day basically off-site looking through either the old strategy or rethinking a new strategy, and then really marrying it down to sort of granular level of what are the tactics, what are the things that you need to do.
My answer to your question is that it should all get distilled into purpose and engagement. I think the answer to your question is that there are not-for-profits that have extremely engaged boards that know the purpose, and there are for-profits that have extremely disengaged who don't know the purpose boards. And I think you get the spectrum across the board, no pun intended. There's just there is no consistency across all of these for-profits or not-for-profits. And I think I really applaud Carnegie Council for bringing for-profits and not-for-profits together, because it's the same issue at the end of the day. So to our problem, which I would like to put this forward, we do have a very engaged board. I think we are actually very lucky that the way to solve this problem was that we were engaged and we were consistently asking the question of what is our purpose? And I think we very quickly said, hang on a minute, this isn't working and maybe we need to talk about this. And I remember being on a board call and saying right at the end of it in the executive session, maybe we should get a subcommittee together to discuss this IMI problem. And John was in agreement, our chairman, and that group came together. And I think what came out of that conversation was truly a redefinition of what we were supposed to do. And isn't that what we should be doing all of the time? You know, and I think often, I think you made the comment about people who come in with sort of their own predisposed ideas about how things should be, and there's a sort of inertia about moving, and you mentioned about your organization as well, that you're able to be nimble about it and change and move, and let's not all be wedded to this particular route. Let's all make sure we know what the purpose is first, and then get there any way we can. And I think I think therein lies your answer, that we were able to actually step aside and have a conversation.
This IMI subcommittee, which Tim was part of, and none of this was done in isolation of the senior staff. So the staff was in there, and we talked about everything from the issues with specific donations to obviously our mission first, sort of the issue of staffing, like this is how many staff we have, this is how many hours we have, and this is only so much we can do. What also came out of that committee is sort of like the quality standards for our member organizations. At the end of the day, we decided that quality comes before, in our case, the break-even point or the funding, the financial target. And we had to be okay with not meeting those financial goals, because for us, it had to be either or at that time. And sort of this quality mandate from our board to staff at all levels that continues. So I think Suhat said this is a journey, but it's really true. Like this is something that we're still looking at and working through all the time.